so interesting. Okay, welcome to actually my second interview, which I'm going to do here in Costa Rica, where I'm currently spending my beautiful winter, having snow in Poland. So I'm really happy that I will skip a month at least
Wow.
of our real Polish winter in the mountains. So today I'm going to have, I'm sure, an amazing conversation with Jennifer Gonzales, who I met on this really beautiful biodynamic farm where she showed us around, me and Katie, and explained the processes behind this type of farm, right? Yeah. Farming. But we also talked and we were presented how the distillation of essential oils and hydrosols look like. So that's definitely the topic I would like to touch on today. So Jennifer, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much, Suzanne.
Laid back and cozy conversation we will have.
Beautiful.
In the beginning, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself, say a little bit more about what you do, about your farm, what is the idea behind biodynamic farming, and and then we will carry on from that.
Okay. Suzanne, thank you very much for opening this space.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for all the spirits also that gives us the opportunity to make this encounter, to be here and really to be sustained with all the wisdom of the herbs, the plants, the flowers, and the vitality that they carry. And to introduce myself, wow. My name Jennifer Gonzales. I was born in Canada, in Montreal, and I came here to Costa Rica when I was 12, and I could really have it began. I think that in Canada, in Montreal, it began my connection with the plants, no? with the flavor. The first time that I really took conscience of something of the greens, it was a bean, a wild bean that was there. Oh, what is this? And I remember that flavor until now. It was the impact of it's something alive, eatable, just growing like that in the little corner of a road, and it really attracted me in that first experience of greens inside of me. Well, besides salads and all that you eat. And here in Costa Rica, my husband and my family, I have 2 kids. I'm a mother. The 2 beautiful kids that have really made me grow in a beautiful way, inspirationally, and committed to really give the best of what's inside of me for them and the world, of course. I'm a herbalist also. Working with medicinal plants has been something that I do more and more in my life, but I began maybe more consciously, I could say 20 years ago. But I remember also when my first son was born, we were living in a little town in the south of Costa Rica, and when he was born, we decided to move a little bit more at the mountains, and so that invited me to really have my garden with medicinal plants that I could need on an everyday routine. Of course, Juanilama.
We will talk more about it. Yeah.
And we had stinging nettle also. We had yarrow. It's plants that are from Europe. We agree on that, but they grow very beautiful in highlands, and we were in that opportunity in highland in San Isidro, nearby Chiripo Mountain, and mint and gavilana also, local plants that could help when you have a little stomach ache, that it's completely normal, is that you can have a tea to feel better. Yes. Or when you have like other emergency familiar things, when you have a little rush, or when you have something that a plant can give you preventive heal, or an soft heal also.
Yes, exactly. When it's something is already happening, right?
Exactly. So the experience with plants as a herbalist started with a need, a curiosity, and a commitment of the well-being of our bodies, to giving really information that harmonize in this subtle ways. Yes, I really believe on that. And I studied in psychology in the university psychology, always on the concern of who we are, what we're doing, what do I feel that, what is this feeling, how can we change, how is this quest of our life, what is life, you know? I always had this type of questions, no?
Me too. The same.
And I studied also theology on these, trying to going deeper on those understandings of our beings. And but I also study wildlife and forestal management, we can say.
Yes.
And that put me in touch with the well, more like botanically, not like very on the subtle information, but botanically with plants and with
scientifically as well, right?
Scientifically, exactly, with trees, because well, here in Costa Rica we have so many things to explore. Gosh. And I remember in those years was like, wow, this is amazing. I had a super great teacher of trees, only trees, that's was his thing, and it was so many details, so many things to observe.
I know.
And what about the plants? Oh my God, medicinal plants and birds. Birds also here in Costa Rica is it's an amazing little country with a big biodiversity to observe, to feel, to get in touch with.
Yes, amazing. And like, what about like a biodynamic farming? Like, what was the beginning of that? What is it actually? Because many people, I'm sure, still have no idea about this term. So, if you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Biodynamic, it's a way of doing agriculture, connected consciously and practically with the forces of the cosmos. Is the forces of the earth, and that is the forces of life. It's an agriculture that works on the realm of life, on the language of life, and there is practices, specific practices, but it also it's really close to old ways of doing agriculture. No? Because we're talking about compost, we're talking about biodiversity, we are talking about the connection of the plants between them and how plants can heal plants also.
True. Yes.
And like this, using the forces of life to heal and to create an harmonious ambient for the plant, and for the soil. And the focus is, yes, of course, to heal the earth with these practices, and also to reconnect the forces of life of the human, because yes, it's to heal the earth, because the earth may be healed, need to be healed with all these practices of agriculture that cultivate more on the language of death, with all the agrochemics and all the chemics that they put to the plant, wanting to make it more productive.
Exactly.
But it's a very it's a language of death.
Yes,
we can say that.
It's about forcing the plant to do a specific job, which the human, the person, the humanity requires, like, or
Exactly.
like, right, or demands.
So in biodynamic, the commitment it's really is that the person that does agriculture also really makes a relation to the plant, to the earth, and to its own life on the language of vitality. That's what we're looking. We're looking for the vitality of the plant. So when we eat it, we have this life forces back again to really have the subtle connections in our body. And our body is a physical body, it's an etherical body, it's a soul body, and it's a spiritual body.
It is.
So to really have in motion all that, the connection of all that, is the food is basic. What you eat, and the older cultures have this really clear, like the Greeks, when they say that may your food be your medicine, and that your medicine is your food.
Yes.
So it's remembering really that, you know? how we make every plant that is eatable a medicine. Yes, the plant the plant has something very clear, and it's like what they are, like the realm of giving. They give themselves to the soil and to the persons that wants that, because it has a connection. Like the aloe vera is there, and we want it because when I get burned, that really heals me in a very powerful way, if I know how to use it. You know? And so I want to have the power of that plant. So if I want that plant has the power and the vitality that I need, when it's about the process of cultivating, planting, and making the best soil for this plant. In agriculture, we also work in biodynamics. We also work with preparations, homeopathic preparations. And we work with, there's more than 7 preparations, but 7 preparations are the basics. And those homeopathic preparations are elaborated with medicinal plants, like yarrow, chamomile, dandelion. They are prepared as linked, or we put them inside in animal organs. And specific animal organs that have important vibration, that the animal gives next to the plant, and them together, when you process them, you receive a potent medicine for the soil. This is homeopathic preparation for the soil, healing the soil, to bringing the pristine ambience for the plant. And the plant can grow with all its faculties. Linking, like we were seeing yesterday on the drawing, linking the forces of the cosmos. And when I say cosmos, well, there's beyond the planets, but let's talk about the 7 main planets. So it's 7 planets, 7 basic preparations that are linked to the planets. And we work with that in conscience. One of the interesting things of biodynamics is also, the practical, technical information that is needed to really do a very good production on different scales. For example, in our farm is it's a familiar scale. It's a human scale production. But we also work on more bigger farms productions, of coffee, cacao, different fruits. So we also work in the process of assessments with other farms and other projects that want to get into biodynamics, and we are completely sure that having the experience of biodynamic agriculture is a social experience. It's a human experience to really sustain this.
Yes.
So we work with people that work with that works in the fields. You know?
True.
So it's and biodynamics gives this practicality to really connect with the cosmos. So we say, how you connect with the cosmos?
Yes.
And how is my plant is going to be the forces of the cosmos? How is that? We receive that with the sun. That thankfully we have the sun today.
Just today, yeah.
And we are receiving those electromagnetical connections. And of course of all the planets and all that, it's a big influence that we have forgotten that is there. And now with all this artificial electromagnetic field that we are surrounded like never before in other times, is those connection with the cosmos are disturbed when they come, you know. So specifically the homeopathic preparations on biodynamics, their function is like codes, information codes for the plants, for them to reestablish this connection, and to enforce, to have the strength. Because the thing is that the cosmos is there, right? We are in the cosmos, but we as the planet Earth is like it's a being, it's a well-being, of course, it's alive, the Earth. And when these forces come with all these web of artificial electromagnetic field that is there, that we use it, we are all part of that web also, because we use it in our technology. Thankfully is there also.
Yes, of course.
But we have to be in conscious that that also has negative effects. So how can we enforce that connection directly to the cosmos is something that now we have to take in conscience to make that connection. It's not like in our elders that they just had the connection because they didn't have this quest.
That was super easy, right? But now we get confused because there are so many disturbances along around us.
So one of the things that biodynamic agriculture does is, in conscience of this context, creating this connection, earth and food. So that's one of the biggest lights that also has.
In order to make the food also more vital, right? Because we, of course, we like most of us eat a lot of vegetables. Like in Poland, many people eat many vegetables, many fruit as well. But the question is like, what's the vital force? Is it still there actually, right? We are thinking that, oh yeah, we're making ourselves full, but is it really like nourishing to our bodies, right? It's in the end, a good diet is not only about not being hungry, but about feeling nourished, right, by what we eat. And that's something really missing in our like current modern society.
Yeah, what you said, that's the point.
Yes.
What is where does my food comes from? Where is my essential oils comes from?
Oh, that's the next topic.
What is where is that plant? What is that soil? Well, and if we want to go find who is the social environment that is there?
True.
Because everything is about vibration.
Yes,
as well.
It is. Exactly.
So on biodynamic, we have this like in a practical rhythm of thinking also. How is this? We are working for making that connection of the forces of life present in the soil and in the plant.
True.
So and in conscience that the earth is a well-being. And in the farm, for example, we see the farm as an organism. It's a whole organism.
Yes.
You know? Everything is part of the whole. And when we think of the farm, every part is a part of the whole. Yeah, it's like our body,
all connected.
Our finger is our part of. I need this finger to really be completed.
Yes, exactly.
And or my liver, even if I'm not conscious of the work of my liver or my lungs.
Yes,
they're there and they know what they have to do.
Yeah.
I don't have to think that what they have to do, because this is something that now it's not part of our conscience. It's
Yes.
part of our unconscious.
True.
The body, the intelligence of the body do that work.
Yes,
¿verdad?
That's right.
And so more vitality that I have more possibility also to reflect in a higher way, connected to higher values as well. It's not only about thinking. It's also about it's a subtleties.
Yes,
no?
Yes, that's what we're missing, right?
And biodynamic works with that. This is it's very deep, and on biodynamic and my life really gave me on my questions of transcendentalities.
Yeah.
I have received a lot of answers from biodynamics, and more than biodynamics, like I was talking with you yesterday, is anthroposophy.
Yes,
anthroposophy, which is like the frame to understand the deepness of biodynamics.
Amazing.
So that it talks about the transcendence of life and the story of humanity.
True.
Our humanity.
And what about essential oils? If you want to grow, grow on, not grow actually. Like, we're talking about plants, so I don't know why I had this grow verb now in my mind. But if we want to just touch on this topic, about essential oils, what's your approach to do it in a sustainable way? Because my impression is that many people get into aromatherapy nowadays, but not many of them think about how to do it, also in connection with nature and in respect to the plants.
Yeah.
What's your approach to this?
My approach to this is very simple, no? Maybe because of how I got into the realm of plants and herbs, and I was really committed to understand the plants. So when you want to understand something, you make a relation with it. No? And a relation, like a human relation, it takes time to know something. No?
Yes.
Of course, we check books, and we see, oh, this have this. Okay, I want this. Oh, I see another plant. I look for its scientific name and all the description and all the virtues that have this plant for this, or what organ, But also you need to make a relation with the plant to understand it also, no? And also being aware of where you are. So here, I lived in Mexico for many years, and I had a relation with some plants there, and they were native plants.
Yes.
And when I came here to Costa Rica, I didn't want to breed those plants, even though they could grow here.
Yes.
Because it was like, I want to know the plants that grow here in Costa Rica more than bringing plants from other places. And there is where I reconnect with the Juanilama. Juanilama is this tropical plant that grows, well, in all America, I could say, maybe not so far in the south, but here in Costa Rica, it's a special treat, special use. And when we go to essential oils, when I started having a relation with the plant, and wanting to have, of wondering how to use all the virtuosities of those plants. And I had the question of, okay, essential oil, I could get more information, more concentrated to do more medicinal products with the essential oil. You know? Because when you have a plant, the first step is a tea. So you have a close relation. You have like this tea that we are having here.
Exactly.
This was from dry leaves.
Yes.
So this has a human intervention. But we could have this albahaca, which is, we can have a tea of the fresh plant, which is always the optimus, because you don't have a present, you have the fresh information.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
But with the tea, you go a little bit deeper. With the essential oil, you go to the soul, the soul of the plant, in a very special way. So, and the essential oil, you don't find it naturally in nature, unless you squeeze the plant or something like that. You can smell
it, right?
Like a little bit. But the amount that now we are using,
yes,
like ever before,
exactly,
they are amazing. It's like, wow, this is more than when I first thought about essential oil. I was like in the 20s, and when I was 20, essential oil was rare.
Yeah,
it was very difficult to find. It's not easy like now going to any macrobiotic or even a pharmaceutical. They have essential oil, different qualities, you know? But sustainability with essential oil is a quest now. We as we have to ask, where does my tomato come from?
Yes.
Or my lettuce comes from, my arugula, where does my essential oil comes from?
Yeah.
Not only knowing that it comes from France, if we think of lavender, which is very common, but the situation with the lavender is now the production is a massive production. Is hectares from hectares and hectares of only Juanilama in France.
Lavender.
And so when we work the land in agriculture, we can ask ourselves, how can they produce so much naturally? How farms of only one thing is a big quest, because if you only have one thing, you don't have the power of diversity. It's a quest of really making the production available, or the production possible. You have to use very strong power preparations to do that work. And if you are not committed to be in the language of life, it's very easy to fall in the language of death and use chemicals, because it's the easiest way to sustain something so big, a production so big. So I really think that essential oils, as any other production, needs a scale, a manageable scale, to really give the plant the food that it needs for her to grow in vitality. Because as the food that we eat and as the essential that we use comes from the forces of life, but it has its biography. As we have our biography, the plant has its biography.
Yes.
So the food that you give to the plant is the food that she's going to have in her veins.
Exactly.
What I drink is what I'm going to put in my body.
Yes, it's like the whole chain, the whole wheel. Yes.
So if you have a plantation that has been grown with chemicals in parts of its growth, you're going to have that in your medicine.
Yes.
Or that's what you're going to have in your essential oil. So sustainability with essential oils is a big quest, and is a big quest mainly for those big brands that are in the focus of giving essential oil to the whole world. So we have a brand that I find here, and I can find it in Canada, I can find it in Japan, I can find it in Australia, I can find it in Poland, the same brand.
Yes, exactly.
And it's como, wow, who is behind the plant? Who is treating the plant? Who is processing the plant in this quantity? So this is why it's a question mark.
Yes.
¿verdad?
It
Es
is.
como, how do they do this?
Yes.
In vitality, in without using chemicals.
Yeah.
¿Verdad? For not giving these medicines, because essential oil is a medicine,
Yeah.
or the plants are medicines, is to the persons or to your client on the guarantee that it has no chemicals.
Exactly.
¿Verdad?
Exactly.
And now, yeah, essential oils is like, I think everybody has at least a little bottle of lavender
It's
or
like
tea tree.
it's
like
a huge trend right now, you know, and like many people just get into these chains, like, you know, like into these let's say like the branding, like the brands which like are mostly talking
So
about
I would really,
selling it to everyone, and it's really not, you know, something sustainable for sure.
And healthy.
And healthy, as well, because people can also overuse it, and then they also tend to do it with themselves, with their animals.
And
like,
overusing it is even essential oil. Overusing it is a quest for the liver.
Yeah.
And other organs in the body, and overusing it with the chemical components, it's more.
Yes, it's even more
more difficult for the body to process. So maybe you're healing something, or maybe you're not even healing.
Exactly.
You are putting a little bit more of struggle for the body to heal.
Yeah.
So I really promote, or the work that we do is like, well, we could say an example, or just like an example of a commitment to really work on a human scale or a medium scale production.
Yes. And rather support also smaller companies, right?
And smaller companies that are committed with the vitality of the plant.
Yes.
And the soil.
Yeah.
And by consequence, on the vitality and the health of the human that is going to use that.
Exactly. That's true.
So sometimes it's better just to have local things. So maybe, yes, you have an emergency, you have something, and frankincense is something that can help me on my path of healing, and I can make an exchange here and there and bring it. But it's also valid, you know. It's not that I'm only going to work with Juan y Lama, for example.
Yes, yes.
We can have a diversity, but always having in conscience, where does it come from? Where is that salud?
Gracias.
Where is that cultivated?
Yes.
Who is behind that?
Who is?
Maybe it's going to take a little bit more of time of those questions,
Yeah.
but you are in this that you were saying, in this chains of going in a good source.
Yes, exactly. Super important.
So and supporting projects, people that have this commitment.
Yes, that's true.
And not only because we are the best sellers.
Yes.
And we have so much, and yes, it apparently, and maybe that's the focus, but sometimes in the way we lose the focus, wanting to do more and more and more of what it's really able to do.
Yeah. And you know, like more and more research is starting to show, like to show up regarding using essential oils, and many people, you know, on one side it's great because many people get really excited about using more natural therapies and natural solutions for health issues, but on the other hand, they get so excited about these possibilities that they forget about the consequences of overusing them. That's the issues I see as well. So I'm really happy that you, as the person who also produces essential oils, are really close to nature, and you also said to me that, for example, if the weather is like too rainy, for example, you don't have enough plants, you don't have plant material to actually produce the essential oil, so you're not going to do it, or you don't start to use some chemicals in order to produce it, right?
Exactly. And and that's an issue in this moment. That's an issue because here in Costa Rica we've been having a season of rain in our area.
Yes.
Is very deep.
Yes.
And that has affect the plants. They are resented with so much water.
Exactly.
And imagine if I would have a contract with one of these big companies that I have to give them pass what pass, whatever it's happening, I
Yes.
have to give them. And if no, I would have to pay something. So I would have to have a loan or something
Yeah,
to
you
pay,
would be pressured.
and I
yeah.
will be pressured. And it's like in this is happening. It's beyond my organization. Is
Yeah.
beyond my capacity to control or to give vitality. This is not more about vitality. This is about the weather and the circumstances of the global situation.
True.
Yeah. And this is for sure happening to all medicinal plants planted on big scale.
Yes, yes, that's true. That's
That
true.
there is, it's like that. That is happening with the cacao in Africa. They had this bacteria, and
Yes.
now cacao is super high on prices.
Yeah.
Because there is no materia prima, there is no prime material
Yes.
to do what everybody wants in the world, which is chocolate.
Yeah,
Or
that's
that.
always what the being pressured ends up with, right? Right.
Exactly. So now we have to do other things to concentrate. For example, in the farm, okay, it's not the medicinal component now. We just have to take care and the water and to take care of the details that we can, and concentrate maybe in other areas of the farm that we didn't put so much attention because we were focused on the essential oil.
Yes.
So that's the importance also of diversity.
Yes.
So if it's not one thing, it's going to be another thing.
Exactly.
So we can make a balance. When you don't have choice,
No.
so you get in struggle,
Yes.
the person gets in struggle, and the land gets in
The
struggle
land as well.
So it's a whole dynamic,
Everything's
social and a biological
Yes.
struggle.
Everything is connected again, right?
Everything is connected
Yes.
again. Everything more than what we think.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. So Jennifer, if just to wrap up, because we could talk for hours, I'm sure. There's so much interest, so many interesting topics we could have.
Yes.
But to wrap it up, what would you say were the biggest, or have been, because they can still, of course, come to you, the biggest teachings you've received from plants, the biggest discoveries if it comes to working with biodynamic farming, and like plants in general, like what would that be?
Well,
About being a human in the middle of everything, of all of that.
What I may say for beginning is that we are an apprenticeship. I am an apprenticeship. I'm always learning, and the world of medicinal plants, I think it's an ongoing story. It never ends. It is enormous, you know? And I am aware that I work with a tiny piece of that realm, you know? And but I may have to make some links and connection with my biography. My grandmother was a woman that worked with medicinal plants. She always was surrounded with flowers and plants. And teas was something that she always had, and she always drank, and she always offered, you know? And not she didn't offer like so many diversity. It was a couple of her garden, you know? So it was like the grandma tea, you know? Which was Juanilama.
Of course.
Of course. And on my studies of psychology also, I could understand also the forces of the feelings, our emotions, in a very subtle way, and how plants gives us at first hand the power to help our reflections and our feelings to be balanced, just like that. You know, it's like you drink it and you feel better.
Yes.
It's not something that, okay, I'm going to drink ginger, and if I don't think ginger works, it's not going to work.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you believe it or not.
Yes.
You take it and you feel well. So if you really tune with the plant, it's going to be higher
Even
wellness.
better. Yes.
And if you don't tune, you just get limited, you know? And my mother also. I was surrounded with. I grew up in the house, or my mother was really committed on health, on providing us the best food for our growing, and our health, because she had this inspiration. And also, of course, I could have to mention a lot of teachers, women and men, that inspired me to still being connected with the plants. It's como the plants can give you. No?
Yes.
And the plants, and sometimes, I'm surrounded by the plants and everything, and there's been periods of my life that I don't take plants. It's come, I'm surrounded. No, okay, help me. No, but you don't drink it. And but I don't drink it. Sometimes there's periods of time that when I realize, oh, I'm not drinking my tea. Oh, and I'm struggling. It's come on. Of course, you have to drink your tea. You're feeling not well. It's not only water or lemon with water, which is very good. And sometimes we get lost on doing many things, and making a tea.
Yes.
Is the needs that you take a little bit of time to make it.
Yes, exactly. And spend more time and think about yourself. Give yourself this attention, right?
And the plant gives you that opportunity.
Yes.
To get connected or be connected with the process of your body.
Yes. Yes.
And our body, our thinkings, our feelings is what we are. Is what we express. So if I want to express in a beautiful way, not only rationally, this helps me just to flow with what is there for me.
Yes. Yes, true.
So all my teachers and my tune with that has given me this certainty.
Nice. Amazing.
And another thing that I would like to share is a verse that inspires me a lot in the well-being physically, but also in the well-being of spiritual connection that the plant gives us. And I know the verse in Spanish. I'm going to say it first in Spanish,
okay, of course.
And then we will find the words in English to say it in a better way.
Let's do it.
So in Spanish is like that. Si buscas lo más elevado, la planta te lo puede dar. Lo que ella hace sin voluntad, hazlo tú queriendo. So is a little bit like this. I for sure know that there's words that we can use in a better way. Maybe they're not going to come today, but let's see. So if you are searching for higher experiences, the plants can give it to you. What they do without thinking, do it you with your will. In the sense of the plants, like we were talking the other day, the plants have very clear, no doubt, that they're looking for the light. And they do it because it's what they do. It's like, I am here and my liver is working.
Yes.
My liver, I'm not thinking of my liver.
Yeah.
But it's there. Is the plant. The plant knows in a different way of thinking, of my thinking.
Yes.
Knows that it looks for the light.
It needs to go to the light.
Light. And so the verse is like moves on of the plant do that for the light. You do it, us as human. Let's do it with will, with consciousness.
With consciousness. To also search for the light.
For the light.
Exactly.
And the light is the knowledge, the truth, the higher world.
True.
So it's like that inspires me. Like, okay, I drink my tea and it's, yes, for my physical body, but also for my spiritual body.
I love that. I love that, Jennifer. I think it couldn't be a better wrap up of our conversation. So remember, every time you drink your herbal tea, you give yourself care and light, which this plant used to search itself, and now it's giving to you, right? That's
Yes.
actually, I love it. Oh my
Yes.
goodness! From
And
today on, this is how I will drink my herbal tea.
Yes, yes, and yeah, I'm glad that and this is a verse that is from this magnificent writer Goethe. Because he worked with biological information, with poetry, philosophy, with so many fields.
Yes.
He was a prolific gentleman. And he inspires me also a lot in my working, practical working, meditative working. Yes. Also, and giving transcendence to what we do.
Wonderful.
Because it's like practical, but it's transcendent also.
Yes,
so it's like hands on the soil.
Yes.
And barefoot, you know.
Yeah, I have like the mud all over me.
Yes, and mud everywhere and that. But it's transcendental. It's like that.
Yes, it's like everything intertwines, you know. And if it comes to working with plants, like you can do it on a very physical, like use them or work with them on a very physical layer, but also on this emotional, mental, and spiritual. So like it's all connected in the end, right?
Yes,
everything's connected.
Yes. But these practices is the attune that. They don't separate it, no?
Yes,
it's like we do it on conscience of those realms.
Yes, that's also true. That in the end it's all just one.
It is all just one, but sometimes it's come on, okay, how do I do that all together, no?
Yes, exactly.
So that's what I like of anthroposophy and biodynamic also, is that it has practical tools to do those connections.
Yes, that's true.
And something, and also there's space for our intuition, because it's like essential oil. You have essential oil in a little bottle because there's a whole story behind that.
Yes. People
and soil.
Yes.
Yes. So it's like it's a biography.
Yes, it is. It is.
So it's and sometimes people know the scientific name of peppermint, let's say, piperita, and they go to the garden and they cannot identify which is the pepper, or which is even, well, yeah, let's say basil.
That's true. Yeah.
They have and frankincense, for example, that I mentioned before. People know the smell, and they don't know the plant. They don't know the being that is behind.
Yeah, the being
that.
Exactly.
It is. Come on.
This is like that's what the modern world looks like now.
So it's like this fragmentation, relation with the things.
Yes, that's true.
And your food. You don't know. There was a whole thing, well, a long time ago, that there were children in New York, for example, that they didn't know where the meat came from. So they had to do a cultural thing with the cow parade to say the food, the meat comes from the cow.
Yeah.
And now with these new technologies, there's meat that doesn't even come from animals.
Yes, exactly.
It comes from whatever
we don't
the hell comes
now.
from.
Like it's a big mystery in the end.
It's a big mystery at the end.
Yes.
And it's a big, wow, super thing, super technology.
Yes.
But it's like, this is not vital.
This is not vital, no.
This is something that you're going to put in struggle your health, exactly. Your body, your divinity, your connection to subtle communications.
That's true.
With life.
So let's wish ourselves and the humanity that we will come back to nature, get back to the connection, relationship with plants. That's what we wish you as well. And once again, thank you so much, both for taking me around your farm, but also for today's conversation, which has been really like a big pleasure to me.
Hi, Suzanne, for me too. Thank you very much for your concern, for your curiosity, for your commitment, and making this possible to share and to spread it somehow to all the people that can
reach it
and be inspired.
Let's hope this is how it will end up.
Yes.
Thank you so much.